Hi, welcome. My name is Bisque Dolly, and I read Sorta Okay on Life for you. For you. We're reading The Picture of Dorian Gray, and we just finished chapter 4, okay? It's getting a lot better when it comes to understanding the character that is Henry, or Harry, whatever you want to call him, Wotton. Okay, who is this guy? He's the mysterious new friend of Dorian. He's so mysterious, he's so cool, he's so pretty. I don't know, a guy like Harry, okay, loves beauty, okay, but he also likes to understand the inner machinations of the mind of his so-called friends, or just people that he interacts with on a regular basis. He loves to test people. Okay, for him, understanding the deep-seated desires of another person is so important when trying to define them. Good and evil don't really matter to a guy like Harry. What matters to him is beautiful and ugly. That's all that he cares about. And for him, beauty is supreme. We also get to meet Henry's wife, Lady Wotton. Okay? And she is described as a woman who seems unkept, but kind of like in a quirky sort of way. Her hair is like wild and curly or wavy or something, and her style is very noticeable, and a lot more relaxed in comparison to the other people within that society. I would say relaxed, but it's kind of like all thrown in a tassel. Like she seems to kind of just being thrown into her garments, thrown in, her hair seems to be blown. Lady Wotton, Henry Wotton, Lady Henry, Lady Harry, whatever you want to call her. She's like, Dorian, my husband has 18 photos of you. Like, you said 17, but who's counting? Her, obviously. And she kind of tells him that she likes foreigners, or she likes pianos the way she likes foreigners, because they're like an object that people can look at, kind of like a zoo. And in a way, this comment she makes alludes to Dorian being a foreigner in her home. She doesn't see him as anything close, just another object. It's been a month since the painting that Basil did of Dorian, where Dorian suddenly became self-conscious, thanks to Harry, of his beauty and the fact that society is going to objectify him. What I like about this book is that it kind of talks about how beauty is coveted amongst people in society, how beautiful people are subjected to certain experiences, both negative and positive, and also the self-consciousness of one losing their looks through the, I guess, lens of a young man, which most of the time we're not really focusing on in society. Not because, you know, most of us have sympathy for egregious and uncouth men, but because I think it's just that a lot of men lack emotional awareness and are not focusing on their hygiene and beauty anyways. So why would they care, especially nowadays? But Dorian's not like that, okay? Dorian is an orphan, son of a nobleman, and he's in love. Yes. Enter in Sybil Vane, okay? When Henry arrives at his house where Dorian had been waiting for him, they start to talk about Dorian's escapades, his little solo adventures. He's been going to a theater in the poor part of London. It's like not the best part of town, and there's some words that are being described that I will not use because within the context of how they are used, it's a bit, how you say, derogatory. So This girl, Sybil Vane, is a 17-year-old. I believe Dorian is about 18 years of age. And he meets her at this theater. He decides to go on an adventure, and she just so happens to catch his eye when he goes to see this Shakespearean play called Romeo and Juliet. And she plays Juliet, a part to her Romeo, who is this middle-aged man, very, very ugly. He's described as ugly. Okay, ugly, old, beer gut, bad prose when speaking in that old Shakespearean language. It's a wrap. Okay, she's obviously in a precarious situation amongst this acting troupe at that theater. Dorian is completely captured by her. He's like, she's not like other girls. She's a genius. And what does Harry do? He bees a hater. He's like, everybody's had an actress. Oh yeah, that's the thing about romance. It feels so great when it's your first time. Yeah, of course. Like, obviously he's being a hater, but apparently, Oscar Wilde says that when he does this like inner monologue, not Henry's inner monologue, but he does this like thing where in literature where the narrator describes the thought processes of one of his characters. I don't know what that's called, but essentially he says that Harry is not jealous, which I doubt, because if you would have heard that conversation, if you would have joined the live and saw the conversation, that all the things that Harry was saying to Dorian to poke fun at him and like make him feel embarrassed about this girl that he has a crush on, you would have been like, hater. It's giving hater. It's giving jealous. It's giving you want to kiss me on the mouth, Mr. saving 18 photos of me in 1890 London when I have to sit for an hour just to take a photo. That's like no big, feat right there, apparently. Apparently it's just as casual as it is in 2024 when people are snapping each other pictures of their See, observing a guy like Dorian is kind of a game, or like a little bit of a social experiment for someone like Harry. It is said here, the separation of spirit from matter was a mystery, and the union of spirit with matter was a mystery also. He is fascinated by Dorian's, naivety, his newfound experiences, and also, thanks to Harry, he has an awareness that experience didn't teach him. He's aware that he's made Dorian a little bit self-conscious about not only his looks, but even the girl that he's interested in. Now Dorian is in love with this girl. He's paying lots of money to this theater just to get her attention, but also to try and hopefully prove that he can get her out of whatever situation she's in. Because remember, 1890s men, they weren't going to just use and abuse you. I mean, they definitely were. But if they were going to romantically pursue you in the way that this young nobleman was, with chivalry and love and all the feelings of romance and heart, they had every intention of making you their wife. Every intention. She was but a damsel in distress, okay? But she's not like other girls, okay? She's not like other girls. By the way, when Dorian was going off about saying how the other women of high society are just like interested in gossip and their clothes and their makeup, much like the comments we hear today about women in general, I just want to say maybe they weren't in a position where they could explore their favorite hobbies, because all men do is take big fat boopies all over anything a woman does. Even me, when I read Sorta Okay on Life for people, I'm literally reading a book, and what do? They come and boop all in my comment section, saying poopy words out of their poopy mouths. And how does this end? How does this summary end? Dorian is married later that night. Henry and Basil haven't even met her yet, and he ends up being engaged.